What's up, guys? I'm espben 360 coming here with my week 4 predictions. And let's before I get started, I just wanted to give my friend Dean a shout out. He wanted me to give him a shout out in this video, so I will. So I'm gonna give Dean a shout out from right here. And with that, let's get things started. Game one, we have the Chicago Bears against the Carolina Panthers. I think the Carolina Panthers will come in Chicago and take care of business. Cam Newton has been so hot. He got his first one last week, and he'll look to continue that against the Bears defense, who has been getting some pressure. But I still think that Cam Newton will come here and win against the Chicago Bears. He has already done it against an NFC North team, and I look him to get at least 200 yards in this game. And the Carolina Panthers to win against the Chicago Bears. Next game we have and also the Carolina Panthers defense have been stepping up big time, so that will make it harder for the Chicago's offense. The Buffalo Bills against the Cincinnati Bengals. I pick a bold prediction for the Cincinnati Bengals to come and beat the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, and this is why. The Cincinnati Bengals have been bringing a little bit of TCU for Andy Dalton in Cincinnati. In game one, the first game, they put Andy Dalton under center, and they gave him the the offensive plays, and he could not handle it. So what they did is they brought some of the TCU, which means that they spread the offense and let him find the receivers, pick his receivers, and hit him in strides. I think that will work against a not so good Buffalo Bills, who got 4 picks last week against Tom Brady. But I think with the way the Cincinnati Bengals offense is playing and their defense, I think the Buffalo Bills, and they have the third ranked defense as of right now. And with the way their offense is playing, they're gonna overwhelm Buffalo and come away with a victory. The Cleveland Browns against the Tennessee Titans. I expect Tennessee Titans to win because I expect CJ2K to finally wake up and have a big game against the Cleveland Browns. And that'll set up the whole passing game. Kenny Britt is out for the season, so expect a lot of young guys to step up and get a lot of big games in this game and shine. Next game we have the Dallas Cowboys against the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions coming in this game are hot. They are 3-0 and coming up come from behind victory in overtime against the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. So expect this momentum to come and pressure. They're gonna be coming here and pressuring Dallas. Their offense is gonna be hot, and their defense. They're gonna be expecting Nick Fairley, their first-round pick, to come back after a long injury. So expect him to come back and make a big impact in that defense. Also for Dallas, they're gonna have Miles Austin back, and they're gonna be playing against that secondary. So expect the Dallas Cowboys to also have a big game. Expect this game to be a shootout, but in the end, I have the Detroit Lions winning it. I think there's a big mismatch between Ndamukong Suh and Phil Costa. Excuse me. And I think Phil Costa will handle it, and Ndamukong Suh's gonna be coming, and Nick Fairley, if he plays, he's gonna also be creating some pressure. And I think the Dallas Cowboys offensive line will not handle it. I don't think Tony Romo will hurt that rib again, but I do think the Detroit Lions have this one in Dallas. Houston against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Houston Texans defense has been good, except last week when they gave 40 points to the New Orleans Saints. I expect them to have a big rebound, and I expect that front seven to completely win that battle against the offensive line of the Pittsburgh Steelers, that have been getting banged up so far in this season. So expect this to be a big mismatch in favor of the Houston Texans, and they'll take care of business. And their offense has been high scoring. They scored 33 points last week, and they'll look to continue that against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. and they'll look to spread Troy Polamalu out and spread everyone out, and create some holes for the receivers. And also expect Kevin Walter to have a good game in this one, because they're gonna be all their odds are gonna be all on Andre Johnson. So expect him to have a good game here. Next game, we have the New Orleans Saints against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I expect the New Orleans Saints to carry on that momentum from last week and score a lot of points against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and expect Blaine Gabbert to finally get a taste of the NFL when he's going to get hit hard and sacked a lot in this game. The New Orleans Saints will come up with an easy win on the road. And you know how road wins can affect a team, so that's going to be a big win for the Saints. The Minnesota Vikings against the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Minnesota Vikings will win. Kansas City Chiefs are pretty much done for the season. Eric Berry's out and Jamal Charles out for the season. Not a good news, and they might be done right now. AP will take over. I expect the Minnesota Vikings to use him more as the season is going to be going on, especially in the second half when they can use him a lot to milk that time off the clock. So I expect them to use AP a lot in the future, especially in the second half. And it's going to start here against the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think they will use him a lot, and I think AP will take care of the business and set up the Minnesota Vikings offense and get them going. Minnesota Vikings win it easily against the Kansas City Chiefs. An easy win for the Minnesota Vikings. The San Francisco 49ers against the Philadelphia Eagles. A bold prediction, but I'm going with the 49ers in this one, just because the Philadelphia defense is out of shape. Nnamdi Asomugha is looking like a bust. Last week he gave Victor Ortiz an easy touchdown with his safety coverage, as y'all saw, and he got beat on another play. So it's not looking good in Philadelphia, and the 49ers are coming off a big win last week, and they have a lot of momentum, so they'll be looking to carry on that victory and come away with another win against the Philadelphia Eagles, especially at home. They're playing at home. Washington against St. Louis Rams. The Washington Redskins are coming here. Last week they lost to Dallas Cowboys. I expect the Washington Redskins to rebound quickly against a reeling St. Louis Rams defense, who have been giving a lot of yards to running backs. So expect also a lot of Tim Hightower in this game, and that'll carry on, and that'll set up the big passes to Santana Moss and Fred Davis. Next game, we have the New York Giants against the Arizona Cardinals. I expect the Arizona Cardinals to win because of their rushing defense, not because of their rushing attack, with Beanie Wells going all out against that bruised and battered Giants rushing defense, who have been giving a lot to running backs this season. So expect a lot of Beanie Wells against that injury-prone Giants secondary and their rushing defense. Arizona Cardinals should win this by Beanie Wells setting it up, and then they'll get that deep throw, that deep attack with Larry Fitzgerald going up high, and with the height he has, he'll beat anybody on that Giants secondary. Then the Atlanta Falcons, against the Seattle Seahawks. The Atlanta Falcons are stepping into the 12-man zone, but I expect the Atlanta Falcons to come away with a tight victory. A tight victory. I think they do have the quarterback when they need him. Matt Ryan will come away with a victory, and also the Atlanta Falcons cannot afford a 1-3 start. So they'll be looking hard to get that victory. They'll expect them to play very hard in this game, and I think they will come with a victory. Next game, we have the Green Bay Packers against the Denver Broncos. I expect the Green Bay Packers to win this game, and expect a lot of cheers for, or a lot of people talking about Tim Tebow come after this game ends. So the Green Bay Packers coming with a victory at home and will even fuel up the conversation for is Team Tebow gonna start, and that that's I think the Green Bay Packers come out with an easy victory. Their offense gonna be too much for that defense. The only chance the Denver Broncos will have is that their defense actually somehow comes up with a couple of stops. Von Miller gets a couple of sacks, and they might have a chance on that. But other than that, if the Green Bay Packers can execute their plays, I think they should come up with a victory, an easy victory. New England against Oakland. The Oakland Raiders are coming this game with the best rushing attack in the league with Darren McFadden, and they'll be looking to rumble against that. They'll be looking to run against that rushing defense, who have been giving a lot, and they'll set up Jason Campbell against the New England secondary, which have the worst secondary right now in the league. I expect Jason Campbell to have a big game. I expect Darren McFadden to have a big game, and I expect the Oakland Raiders to defeat the New England Patriots. The only way the New England Patriots are going to have a chance is that if their offense somehow scores like 40 plus points or something, because the Oakland Raiders will put up points on the board. Miami against San Diego. I expect the Miami Dolphins to win this game. San Diego haven't not been playing their best football yet. They lost to Minnesota Vikings down at first at the halftime, and they had to bring themselves back and win it. They lost against the New England Patriots, and last week they had to they were playing. They had a tough game against the Kansas City Chiefs, who the Bills and the Detroit Lions both scored 40 plus points against them. So I think with that, the San Diego Chargers will lose this game. They will not be able to handle that Miami offense, who's gonna be looking to rebound. Reggie Bush and Chad Henne, they're both gonna be attacking, and that run, especially with Daniel Thomas now going on, and he's starting to become an asset in that offense. So for Thomas to have another big game against those San Diego Chargers, and Miami Dolphins to win. The New York Jets against the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens are coming off last week's game with a blowout victory against the Rams, and they only let the Rams to 7 points. It's been an up and down season for the Baltimore Ravens, from getting 7 turnovers in the first week to losing to the Tennessee Titans and then blowing out the Rams. I think the Ravens will win on Sunday night against the Jets, because the Jets will not be able to handle Ray Rice. I think Ray Rice will have another big game, and that will carry the Falcons to a good win here, and the defense gonna take care of the rest. I mean, if he give Mark Sanchez opportunities to make mistakes, he will. And against a tough defense like the Ravens, expect Mark Sanchez to make a couple of mistakes. And I think the Baltimore Ravens will capitalize on that with their offense and win this. And finally, the Indianapolis Colts against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday Night Football. I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning it. Expect Curtis Painter to start in this game versus the tough Buccaneers defense. And I think the Buccaneers will come away with an easy victory just because their offense will overwhelm the defense. And watch out for that Colts defense, because they played good against last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So in order for Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win, they also have to protect for Josh Freeman. And if they do that and capitalize on their offensive possessions, they should come away with an easy victory at home against the Colts. Alright, that's it for this week. Check out my upcoming videos, and also check my page on Facebook. Alright, peace out.